Okay, and we're live with the Blue Boys podcast with my guest for today, Jack. What's up, Jack?
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pretty crappy day outside, if
Yeah,
I'm being
it's
honest.
raining really hard, man.
Thunder was ridiculous this morning. I thought something exploded.
Yeah, it was thundering by me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after I walked the dog, man, it just started thundering.
Oh, yeah. But there's been no rain really. A little, but nothing crazy.
Yeah,
At
it hasn't
least.
been raining most of the summer, but now it's starting to rain.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least I don't have to
Rain is
water my
important.
plants. Yeah, rain's important.
There you go. Find the benefits to things.
Yeah, you always have to find the silver lining
Of
among those
course.
clouds. How's your day been?
Um, pretty pretty well. I slept in a little late. It was nice. I've just been hanging out because it's a very crappy day outside.
Yeah. It's a good day to hang out, read,
Yeah. Mm.
draw, maybe listen to music or something. Hey, what type of music do you listen to?
Oh gosh. I go all over the place. Like,
That's what everybody says.
I'll be listening to like boomer like folk music to like just noise and industrial,
Noise.
and then it's just noise.
Just
And,
noise? Does that count as music?
it's on music platforms.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, to like all sorts of hip hop, random Asian music, pirate metal, a little bit,
Oh,
but
God.
subgenres are crazy. You could go on a whole day about subgenres.
Pirate metal. What's that all about? Is it just modern metal music with pirate themes?
Um, well, there's this band Ailstorm which I listen to, and they're pretty interesting. They just like sing about the glory days of being a pirate and getting drunk and fighting Japanese bastards. I don't know. It's
Japanese bastards. What? When did the pirates ever fight the Japanese?
Well, you got to take some artistic liberties, I'm sure.
Well, that leads me into this. Did you know that the Japanese themselves were really into the pirate game back in the day? They were quite the pirates. They used to terrorize all across the Western Pacific.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. They were called the Wokal, or like dwarf pirates. And yeah, the Japanese like to go over to Korea and China and just burn shit all the time, steal things.
Yeah, that seems to be a prevalent theme in their history. Japan.
Let's go over to Korea, boys. We haven't visited Korea in a while. Let's check up on
Yeah.
them. But yeah, there was back in the early days of when Portugal and Spain were trying to take over the world
Oh yes.
navally, they ran into the Japanese, and like one of the first times they ran into the Japanese was when they came across the Wokal, the pirates, over in
Yeah.
Vietnam. And yeah, stuff like that would introduce the Japanese to like guns and stuff, and the Portuguese to Japanese. They would have quite the relationship.
When was this? Like
This
what
was
time
back in
period?
like the 1500s.
Oh, so that's like way before the
Way,
Meiji
way, way,
Restoration.
way before modern history. Way before pirates became big in Europe.
Big in Europe.
Big in Europe, man.
Yeah,
Big
you
in
got big
Europe.
in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah. European piracy is like a really short time in history. It's like mid 1700s, and that's pretty much it. When piracy was cool. Mid 1700s.
1700 seemed like an interesting era.
Yeah, it was a world war going on, man.
100 year.
No, the 30 Years' War.
Oh shit.
The 100 Years' War takes place in medieval times.
Yeah. This is the problems with not doing class in so long.
Yeah, but the 30 Years' War happened because uh, George Washington. George Washington caused the 30 Years' War. He started
Alright.
fighting the French, and that started the French Indian War. But then that started a whole war over in Europe.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Meanwhile, there's all sorts of revolutions going on.
Well, in the 1700s, there weren't many revolutions going on, except
I mean,
towards the very end. But the French
yeah,
Revolution kind of just led to it really just went into the early 1800s with
that's fair.
Napoleon. I
Well,
mean,
isn't the king and everybody like executed in like 89, I believe?
yeah,
Maybe the early 90s. Yeah.
and then like a few years later, Napoleon comes up, and then that starts
Right.
the Napoleonic Wars.
Oh, fun.
The War of 1812 is just really a theater in the Napoleonic Wars. It's a footnote in the war, the
Mr.
larger world
Madison's
war.
War. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those wars are just parts of larger wars. Like,
Well, America was not a superpower at all at
yep,
that point.
not at all. Tiny compared to everything else. Back when America used to be insignificant.
I think all we had was like the original 13 colonies,
Yep.
and the Louisiana Purchase, but I don't know if those were states yet.
Well, the Louisiana Purchase wouldn't become states for like 100 years, you know?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like on paper.
But we had the land.
We had the
That was ours.
land.
Yeah.
I mean, but that would yeah. When was the Louisiana Purchase? The Louisiana Purchase happened like
1800.
1802.
Yeah, that was Jefferson. That was his
Jefferson.
big thing. Yeah.
Jefferson's thing.
Jefferson had to deal with pirates, didn't he?
I think that was Madison. Yeah.
I think it might have bled over between them.
I think
Maybe.
the pirate thing was a problem, but Jefferson wasn't the guy to solve that problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was still a problem. The pirates in the
Tripoli pirates.
Mediterranean up in where is that today?
Oh no, the
Yemen.
Barbary War was during Jefferson's era,
Yeah.
1801 to 1805.
When did Jefferson stop being president?
1808.
1808. Okay,
Yeah. Well, 1809, I guess. Technically, yeah.
that makes sense. The Barbary Pirates.
The boys.
The boys. The Barbary Pirates. Stupid. Stupid group of people. I'm calling out all Barbary Pirates right now. Fuck Barbary Pirates and fuck Barbary.
Oh man.
North Africa sucks. Word
Oh.
up. You know, the Blue Boys podcast is now officially against every country in North Africa.
I did not make a stance on this.
Except South Sudan. We're gonna leave out South Sudan, you know?
Damn.
Yeah. Screw North Africa.
Don't leave your window open tonight. You might have some Barbary pirates coming.
Man, the Barbary pirates are long gone. It's not even called Barbary. Those
I
guys used to
suppose.
run around in rowboats. Losers! Losers! Anyway, back to your musical taste. So you like hip hop.
I do.
You enjoy hip hop. What's your opinions on the modern hip hop scene?
It depends what. I'm not a big fan of the emo rap. It's
Oh,
very. I don't know. Like the
it
emo
reminds you too
singing
much
rap.
of Geo? You just look and you're like, ugh,
I
disgusting.
wouldn't say that,
Imagine.
but now that you say it, um, perhaps I don't know.
What
I just
else
find their
don't you
voices
like?
annoying. I
Oh,
don't like their voices in the kind of type. I don't know. Like I suppose I can understand the appeal.
yeah. What would that be?
People are sad.
So they're gonna
It's
listen to sad music to make themselves sadder? I never
or
understood that. When people are sad, they listen to sad music. It's like, yes, because this will help.
maybe they're not looking for help. They just need something to relate to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
true.
understand
You
that.
got a point
Yeah.
there.
But other times I just want to listen to jolly music.
Jolly.
That's not a great word, but
I
things.
haven't heard someone say jolly unironically in a sentence in a while.
It's it's
I
not
mean,
December yet.
I don't think I've heard anyone say it without relating to Santa Claus. Ever. Not once.
Hmm.
What was I gonna say?
I'm not looking forward to Christmas music coming back. I'll say that.
Christmas music is kind of garbage. The only good Christmas songs are the ones that don't really have anything to do with Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the songs are like totally bad. It's just the repetitiveness of it. You hear it on the radio, you hear it on TV. If you're in like a store, which
I don't
should be in
know.
a
It
store right
seems
now,
like they
but
can only find like they only have like 40 songs, and then they just keep playing the 40 songs. Makes sense why nobody likes Christmas music. It's too repetitive.
well,
We need more
yeah.
Christmas music, and
Mm,
it can't all be like happy. We need a wide with different genres of Christmas music. Christmas music shouldn't be a genre in itself. That doesn't make any sense.
mm.
That's stupid.
I think it's not really a genre because like it spans several types. It's just to put it in one little shelf to sell records and all that.
That's dumb. If I made a Christmas song, I would not want it to be in the Christmas section.
You just make a just make a whole album and then there's just a random Christmas song on it.
Slap the Christmas song in there.
We need a bonus track.
We'll make it a Christmas song.
Yeah.
Genius!
Then you'll get those streams during Christmas.
Hell yeah. You know, we need a song on there for every time of the year.
Easter
Every time.
music.
Oh, Easter music. What is Easter music? It's just a bunch of religious jargon.
And then there's a song about like a rabbit, I'm guessing.
I don't know. What do you even do for Easter other than go to church? Eat food and wear uncomfortable clothing. Not much happens on Easter.
You have to search through your yard to find random eggs with like coins in it or something.
Egg coins. No
But then you're
better
told
way to praise Jesus.
but then you're told not to go competitive because there's 5-year-olds also playing who want to win.
You're not gonna swanton bomb that 5-year-old to get an egg, dog. Not gonna arm. You're not gonna clothesline some little kids.
My cousin's kids like love being beat up.
What the fuck? Where did
Well,
that
not beat
come
up.
from?
Well,
What are you doing over there,
I mean,
Jack?
I don't I don't hurt them,
You
but
beating up little kids?
they like being dropped on the couch and stuff.
Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, I've noticed kids do that. When I was a camp counselor, the kids liked getting picked up and thrown onto things like the
Yeah.
couch and some shit. And one time we were at the beach, I picked up a kid over my head and threw him like
Oh,
10 feet into the water.
jeez.
And he's like, "Oh shit, do that again!" And then all these kids started like swamping me, swarming me, trying to get me to pick him up and throw him. And then a little later, my supervisor's like, "Yeah, you can't do that." And
On
I'm like,
Christmas,
"Yeah, okay."
on Christmas, I was playing with my cousin, and like I was just like sitting on the floor in the corner, and he was trying to like fight me, and I was just trying to block him. But then I lifted him up, and like he slipped, and his head was about to hit the ground, but I caught him like
Oh
between my shoes at the last second.
God.
It's like, oh no! And then like his parents and my parents and everyone was in the and my grandparents were all just hanging out in like the kitchen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
The best moment was when three little kids all tackled my sister and she was like 11 years old and like they started jumping off tables and she didn't know what to do. It was horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, you like art?
I enjoy it. I wouldn't say I
Well,
don't know. Yeah.
are you artistically skilled? Do you like to draw?
I like to draw. I wouldn't say I'm talented,
Oh,
but
yeah. You like looking at art, right?
yeah. But I'm not sure how good my eye is compared to others who might have more, I don't
More
know, experience.
expertise.
Yeah, in that field. Yeah.
Mm. You know a good few artistic people.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Corey Allen.
oh yeah, Corey Allen. What's your opinions on Corey Allen's art?
Um it's pretty good. It's a lot of comic book and monsters. Some diversity would be nice.
Yeah, something other than superheroes for a change.
Yeah. Or just well, superheroes are fair enough. There's a fair amount of like diversity within it, but
I
I
mean,
don't know.
but how many times can you draw a superhero and be like, oh wow, wow? I'm just saying, I've never seen Corey draw a tree or anything landscape wise, actually.
Are you challenging him on that?
No, I'm just saying. Every time I've seen any art by Corey, it's been a monster or a superhero. Nothing in between. No normal people. No, no scenery. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's a tad bit repetitive. Like when Corey makes a picture, you know what it's gonna be. You know
He made a digital painting recently.
of what.
It was like a field, I think. It's on Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah. Wait, I'll pull it up and then you can
yeah.
put it
Let
on
me see
screen
that.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pull that up. Pull that up. Well, actually, no, I can't put it on screen. You know the format of these things.
You can put it in the description.
Yes, ingenious.
Put an image link in the
Oh yeah,
description.
good
Yeah.
idea. Good idea. Very smart. Art. I like art. That's a digital painting, but that's just a picture.
It's what we did in computer graphics, I guess. I
Yeah,
did one of those.
that's just a picture. I mean, like, I want to see Corey draw that picture.
Well, this is a challenge, Corey. If you're listening, go draw that. Do it.
It's because I've never seen, like, I'm getting bored of Corey's art at this point. I'm getting a little bored of it. Like,
The
it's
talent's
good.
there, but
The talent's there, but I don't see it being used for anything but,
diversify
you
your
know?
portfolio.
It doesn't, it's like, I don't really see it progressing either. It's like, this is Corey's art, and this here, take it. This is what it is. Like, Corey could open up a boutique and it would be the same thing, you know. A very niche group of people would come in. They'd be like, "Yeah, give me that superhero real quick." And he's like, "Yeah, sure thing." And he takes it out of like a brick oven, pizza oven, on a pizza on a pizza paddle and hands it to him in a pizza box. Yeah, that's Corey's Crafts and more.
Well, perhaps there will be an evolution. If you look at Picasso's, I'm comparing Corey to Picasso now, but
Yeah,
if you
but
look
like
at
Picasso.
Picasso's early like
Known
self portraits,
womanizer. No.
Picasso's early self portraits were very realistic, but
Yeah.
as they go on, it just gets insane.
Descends into madness.
Yeah,
It's because I guess when you're an artist, anybody can draw realistically, you know.
Yeah.
It's when you add something into that is that you get, you know, you get an artist, right? You get someone who's like, I got a gallery, look at all my shit, and then people are like, oh, I know that guy. Like,
There's artists, but then there's artists.
there's artists, but then there's artists you know about, right?
Yeah. Well, that Picasso kind of style is like iconic now.
Yeah, cubism.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny because nowadays, right, there's so many artists, like people who are excellently skilled at drawing. But like, think of someone like off the top of your head who's like world famous artist guy.
Banksy.
Yes, other than yeah, but Banksy, that's the thing. Banksy has a schlick, right?
Banksy
Banksy
is
has a
not a
schlick.
traditional like.
Banksy has a schlick.
Yeah.
He goes all over the world and he does art on in very controversial places, and his art's controversial as hell, right?
Yeah.
Now name someone other than Banksy.
The only artists I can name are comic book artists.
Well, that's just because they're names on the comic books
The
you
names on the
read.
book. Yeah, Jim Lee shows up a lot.
If Jim Lee's name wasn't there, you wouldn't be like, "Who the fuck drew this?"
Perhaps
You just look at it and
John
you're like,
Romita
"Aha."
Jr.
Hmm? Oh,
John
that's a
Romita
comic book
Jr.
artist.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, the thing with comic book artists is, like, well, then again, not all comic book artists also write the stories.
Yeah.
Hmm. People who do comic strips do that, though. People do comic strips, write and draw. Who's your favorite, like, comic strip artist? You know?
Unfortunately, I am not woke. Woke.
You don't,
What? Yeah,
did you
I
just say
don't.
woke? Oh, come on. That's very unwoke of you, Jack.
I I'm not very informed in the comic strip
You don't read
community.
any comic strips at all?
I don't. If I see one online, I'll find it funny.
No. I used to really like comic strips. I hated Garfield. Well, okay, no. I like the strip enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's confusing. It's like, this is stupid. But, like, I just did not like the show at all. I hate the show. Something about it I just dislike. But, I like
Yeah.
Peanuts. I like the cartoons and the comic strips are funny. But that I wouldn't actively go out and be like, "Ha, Peanuts. Let me get some of that." No, I like Calvin Hobbes. Calvin Hobbes really good. I like the Boondocks, really good. And this comic strip, The Far Side. Yeah, that's good.
What's that?
Oh shit. One of our was it Mr. Leone? Mr. Leone used to put up Far Side strips and talk about them in class. I swear to God. Maybe you weren't there for that, were you? Come on,
I don't
man.
recall.
He used to put up Far Side strips and talk about them. It was like his favorite thing. And it was like, ha, I like Far Side too. But yeah.
I just
Far
remember watching
Side
Napoleon Dynamite in this class. That was in 8th grade, though.
Far Side is these one panel strips and it's like a joke. And it's like in one panel. Let me see if I can find one. It's really hit or miss Far Side. It's like really like intellectual shit. It's
I'm looking at some
just
now.
odd. I thought it was funny as a kid. But yeah, Far Side. I like it. But yeah, my favorite comic strip has got to be Calvin Hobbes. I really like Calvin Hobbes.
It's a
Very
classic.
funny. Very classic. Ever read any Calvin Hobbes collections?
I've seen them, but I haven't like actively read them, like
No.
searched out for it. Yeah.
Man, more people should read Calvin Hobbes. You could learn a thing or two. But let's get back. What do you think of my art? You know, I'm always looking for that constructive criticism.
It's entertaining. I like
It's
you do all
entertaining.
sorts of things. Like I mean like
Well, that's good.
a lot of it is just like soldiers. I feel like that's kind of, but you do a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not one thing, which is good.
Well, thanks. Anything other than like the theme? What about the art itself? The quality.
I'm looking at some in the Discord right now. Maybe more shadowing would be good.
I know. I need more shadowing.
Uh,
That's what I need. More shadowing.
is that a butch lesbian?
I don't. I guess. I didn't. I don't
That's
know.
an
I just drew
assumption
that
I should
picture. I
not have
didn't think
made.
of the background to it.
You don't give them all backstories? What?
Of course not. I'm not Corey.
You don't
there's
need
no.
a cinematic universe.
There's no diverse backstory to my drawings. I just like drawing.
Oh, that's fair. It's an
I mean,
outlet.
I could come up with something. I feel like when I was drawing it, I just wanted to draw like a female figure because I don't often do it enough.
Uh,
I was
don't
like, let
draw
me
any
draw,
porn anymore.
let me draw a female figure, dude. Those are like one-off things just so I can show people I could do it, you know.
All right.
Like you look at like most of my drawings. Most of my drawings, if you like look at the sketchbooks, aren't soldiers. I don't know why. When I draw bigger things, I like people in dynamic poses
That's fair.
or like doing stuff. So like, because soldiers are always on the move, and I'm like, I usually draw a picture after like looking at something. So today I drew a picture of an archer, right?
Hmm.
And because I was watching a video on archery, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, and I paused it, and I drew an outline of the guy, and then I finished it. But yeah, I just like drawing poses. I guess it's because I do a lot of stuff with I read a lot and watch a lot of videos on like history. And history is like dominated by like battles. But
History's fun and depressing.
yeah, there's a lot of funny stories in history. Um, I read this Wikipedia page once back in
Oh
like
boy.
medieval times, right?
Yeah.
In like somewhere in Austria, the king had his court, come to his palace so they could have court so they could discuss things. And he brings in all the people and they're like eating in the dining room, and the floor collapses 2 stories into like this massive cesspit that was at the very like underneath the dining room. They had a cesspit, and the floor collapsed, and it just wiped out the entire dining room. All those people got drowned in liquid shit, except the king.
Shit.
The
Oh,
king was saved because where the king sat was a this raised platform, you know. It wasn't
nah.
over that, he was on his throne. It was like on a stone platform, so he survived. His whole court got wiped out though.
It kind of reminds me. I started this documentary on Netflix. It was about like the origins of the Russian Revolution and like how Lenin grew to power. And so like even before Lenin and before Nicholas came in, like when like Alexander was in power, like everyone was trying to kill the Tsar basically.
Yeah.
And there's this one time, there's like I guess in the palace or whatever, a bomb goes off. It's like, oh shit, Alexander the Second was just in the wrong room. Like 11 people died, 50 something were injured. It's like,
Jeez.
yeah, he's fine.
Whoops.
They got Alexander the Second eventually, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know why that reminds me of the time when they tried to assassinate Hitler, and they're like
Oh
at
man,
his like little compound in the mountains, and they put a someone puts a suitcase down at the table next to Hitler, and Hitler, like, the meeting ends and Hitler goes to walk out and the bomb explodes, and for some reason Hitler is completely unharmed, but his pants gets blown completely off. His pants gets blown off. Some guy dies. Everybody's injured except Hitler. And I'm like, how do you fuck that up?
That sounds like something. That sounds like something that would happen in Jojo Rabbit, not not the real world.
Meanwhile, in the real, man,
Could you imagine
sometimes
it?
facts are, stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I guess. Um, so, I heard you're an independent. How's that going for you, Mr. Registered
No, no,
Independent?
no. Actually, they I got that when I was technically 17. I was like, oh, I'll just register independent. Blah blah blah. When I got the permit, so then
Yes.
because I was like within less than 6 months of my birthday, so I was allowed to register. So like then
You
around
can
my
register
birthday,
at 16.
you can.
Yeah. All
Huh.
you have to do is go on the government website, where you do FAFSA, and there's a link where you go register to vote. And turns out you can register at 16. Ryan was doing it the other day, and yeah, we noticed that.
Yeah. Well then around my birthday, I got this mail, and they're like, oh my god, so like they gave me like a new license since I was 18 or something,
Yep, I got one
and
of
then
those.
they're also like, oh, you got to register to vote. So I'm like, hell, I'll just do Democrat, whatever. I didn't vote in the primaries though, but yeah,
Yeah.
the voting's all confusing. They're like destroying the mailboxes. I also I could vote on the school stuff now. I just whoops.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What do you think about the whole postal service stuff
What? Mail-in voting?
and like the postmaster general is like getting rid of mailboxes or something?
Why are they getting rid of mailboxes?
Well, the postmaster general is like very pro Trump, and Trump does not want mail in voting, is how I believe it is.
I don't know. I feel like the post office and the postmaster general should be a respected position.
Uh,
Wasn't Benjamin Franklin our first postmaster general?
yeah, the post office is older than the actual country.
Older than the country, older than every armed forces. Postmen are sacred. We should have
Yeah,
shrines to postmen.
the only blue lives that matter. What? No. Uh,
I mean, postmen are super important. I mean, you yield to a postman before you yield to a cop.
yeah. Well, the post office. It's like they need money for sure, but
Man,
like
I
it
don't
should be
know
turned to a
how.
private thing.
um, the it disappoints me. I don't think the government should be like, oh, we'll just let private companies deliver people's mail as well. You just shot
Uh,
yourself in the foot. What about the post office? How are they going to get any money? You know,
yeah. Well, I
like,
mean, we're spending like trillions of dollars on the military. I mean,
come on, the post office is more important than the army. I mean, when was the last time America had to be defended from an invading force? Like what,
hmm,
300 years ago? 200 years ago? Yeah,
the
200
war,
years.
one of
200 years ago. At
the
this
last
point,
war worth fighting
1812.
was the last war worth fighting was World War II.
But were we really defending America?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that's
Well,
totally
the
all agreement.
Japanese. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess the Japanese. So yeah, let's say World War II. And then
Then the
after that,
Korean War was next, which is just about stopping communism, Vietnam, blah blah blah. And you have the war on terror and
yeah,
other stuff.
and other stuff. That's
Those are
just
the main ones, yeah.
taking over little countries in between, kicking
Oh
out their
yes.
presidents. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, people talk about the Vietnam War, but people don't talk about the Sino-Vietnam War. The war right after Vietnam, where China thought it would be a great idea to invade Vietnam.
Oh, great.
Didn't work. The Chinese got their asses kicked and had to run away.
Gotta
And that
love the
was the
Viet Cong.
last time China fought a real war. Yeah.
I saw recently, a couple nights ago, there was like a big pool party in Wuhan. It's like, is that a good idea?
Large pool parties.
Yeah.
Apparently, something about it. You can go in a pool and not get coronavirus, but you shouldn't be at a pool party because as soon as you get out of the pool, yeah, it's something about
The large
the virus
gathering.
doesn't survive in chlorine or some shit.
It's still a large gathering. I
But
don't
yeah,
know
a
why you.
large gathering is the bad part, not the
Yeah.
in the pool. So technically, if you just stayed in the pool the whole time,
Wait for everyone to leave.
yeah, just stay in the pool, man. You'll be fine. Mm,
It's interesting.
yeah. China's kind of flooding.
Are
Unfortunate.
they?
Yes, no one talks about it. There's been massive flooding all across China. Well, most of China. Most of the important parts of China.
Ugh.
All the agricultural regions are just flooded, you
Oh
know?
no.
And the government, it was getting so bad that the government's like, shit, we have too much water. We're just going to divert it away from the major cities into the countryside.
Oh great.
And then as soon as they do that, they're like, thank you, farmers, for your brave sacrifice.
Oh no.
It's like, what? And all the farmers are really unhappy because their livelihoods have been ruined by the government
Yeah.
who have flooded their lands. But yeah. Oh yeah, did you hear about the seeds? You
The
know,
seeds.
the seeds that people got in the mail from
I
China.
have.
You know, it
No.
was on the news. The mysterious seeds they were sending.
Oh. How'd that go?
Well, so for a few like months, people were all worried, like, oh my God, where the fuck are these seeds coming from? They're like, where are these seeds? Everyone was worried that was like bioterrorism or something. Like China was trying to destroy America with assorted seeds, but it turns out the seeds are actually harmless. You know, aside from like the possibility of invasive species and stuff, but most of them are just normal seeds. You know, they're normal seeds, right? But the thing is, if you got a packet of seeds, someone in China knows your address. And what they do is they send all these seeds to these different addresses in America and then use that address to write fake reviews to better their seed business over in China, so they can get them spicy reviews.
The whole scheme, huh?
Yeah, but it turns out the seeds were harmless. And people are like, don't plant the seeds, you'll kill us all. And I just love it because I was like watching this video and this like older like white farmer's like, I got the seeds, I wanted to know what they were. I was curious. So I planted them. And he's like, check them out, I got them right here, it's my squash plants. It's like this Chinese ornamental squash is like tastes pretty good actually. And I'm like, that guy is funny. I like that guy. All you guys are
Honestly,
chumps.
killer seeds coming being sent from the Chinese would not be the most surprising thing of 2020.
Killer Chinese seeds. Imagine if they were trying to destroy the country with seeds. Like who would have signed off on that? Like over in China? Like, yes, seeds. That's what's gonna win this Cold War against America. Seeds. And then everyone in the room's like, yes, yes, glorious leader. I don't know why they sound Korean, but yeah.
Oh boy.
And then they're all clapping. But yeah. Watch out for them seeds, kids. You never know what those Chinese could be coming up with next. Uh I don't know. Do you think that our country will be in a recession for the next 10 years?
10 years?
10
Uh,
years.
hmm. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if it'll be 10 years, but it's not looking good.
It's not looking good. I think the problem is all these economies, right? All these like big companies are trying to prop up. They're trying to prop up the economy as it's like on the bridge of collapse. Like the economy's like right there, and these Fortune 500 companies like, oh fuck no, you don't do it, don't do it, you bastards. People need to be buying new cars and subscribing to Disney Plus. You can't fall now. And like
Hmm.
Jeff Bezos and those nerds are really like trying.
Well, sure, the world is falling all around us, but at least
Yeah,
I could watch the new season of the Clone Wars.
but the problem is everyone's trying to keep the economy up, but the economy has been on a gradual like incline, right? And everyone's like, we got to keep on that gradual incline instead of like gradually going up and down, right? The
Mm.
more they do that and artificially like inflate the economy and make it look like it's doing good, when it actually does fall, the world's gonna be like in this massive crash, like the 30s or something. It's gonna be an actual freaking disaster.
Damn, maybe they're gonna maybe it's all gonna crash in 29 and we'll have the Great Depression all over again. 100
All over
years.
again. 100
Yeah.
years later, the
Yeah.
Great Depression 2, Electric Boogaloo. But anyway,
Well, these 20s have not been roaring so far.
yeah, these trannies have not been warring. Well, it's only been 20. It's not even the 20s yet. It's 20.
It's
I mean,
20.
would you
Yeah.
consider 1980s the 80s? I mean, I feel like everyone in the 80s was still thinking of the 70s.
Yeah.
I think around 22 will be like in a 20s mentality. Yeah.
Perhaps, but it's gonna have to take a big turnaround if we want this decade to be good.
Yeah.
It's not been a great start.
What's your thoughts on the quality of products today?
Quality of products. What do
Like
you
it
mean?
seems like everyone's trying to make luxury goods instead of goods that are actually like, you know, sustainable, right? Like that work, right? Like every car is trying to be a luxury car. Everything is supposed to like look at a commercial for something. The families in those commercials like aren't real. That's not every American family. Like look at a car commercial. It's just like this couple of just a couple of two, buying a
Hmm.
brand new car. No one's gonna do that. No one does that. Doesn't make any sense. And they're in like this fat house. I'm like, do rich people like watch TV a lot? How come all these people in these commercials seem so well off?
Hmm.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's definitely not relatable. The people in commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that needs like they're like releasing a new phone. They're like, oh my god, it has 4 different cameras with all these angles and 60 frames per second, 4K. It's like I don't really need that. I just need
I know. If
the
you
internet
really,
and to make contact with people, basically.
yeah, if you really want that fancy camera, just buy an actual fucking camera. You know,
Yeah,
if you're really that big into photography or filmmaking, buy a real camera. Don't film everything on your phone, you madman.
as good as the camera quality may be, 4K, 60 frames per second. It's nothing like actual film.
Like an actual camera, like a that's chump
Yeah.
change. Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Do you think that people are getting softer? The youth. What's your opinions on the youth?
Uh, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you think the youth has a fighting spirit?
I mean, when people are passionate about things, certainly.
I
Or
mean, how many people do you know are incredibly passionate people?
Corey and the superheroes.
Hmm. But that's not like. That's not gonna. I mean, Corey's good. Um, whatchamacallit. He's a good whatchamacallit. But Corey ain't gonna be Stan Lee. Corey ain't the
Hey,
next Stan Lee. I'm gonna say
you
that
don't
right
know the
now.
future. You don't know the future.
Eh. I mean, but people like you can't live your life and expect to be famous, right? It's
Mm,
why, like, when you're a little kid, just like I want to be a pop star or some shit. Like, you have to be a little realistic. Like, the people who get big dedicate their lives to that thing, right? You have to be
yeah.
all day, every day, right? Like, look at the greatest fighters, the greatest artists, the greatest um, you know, athletes, race car drivers, astronauts, the greatest anything at a certain trade. Every day they're doing it. Like, let me take Bruce Lee, right? Off the top of my head. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But Bruce Lee, when you look at how Bruce Lee worked out, how he trained, you realize all of Bruce Lee's life was like kung fu. That's it.
Yeah.
Kung fu and like everything around it. He was educated. He was a smart guy, he was charismatic, but like the basis of his life was kung fu and like the philosophy around that.
Any athlete, just look at like their workout like regimen and look
It's
at
like a freaking
their meals. It's ridiculous.
it's like a freaking job. Like like these guys, man, people who train like it's like a job. Like you
When they're
could
not
see why they're
uh,
like jacked as shit or something. It's because that's all they do.
when they're not actually like doing it, they're training or like eating.
Yeah, not
It's
much else
crazy.
going on in there.
Yeah.
Hmm. What else? But what I was mostly thinking about was like how like if I took a kid from today, right, someone our age, and I pitted them against like a kid from like the 90s. I don't know. We'll just take some random kid from the 90s, take a random kid from today, stuck them on an island. I want to see who would do better.
Hmm.
Like as time goes forward, do like we regress when it comes to like basic skills as like we get smarter when it comes to like technical things. I want to know that.
Okay. Um, that's fair. I feel like a '90s kid is still like 90s kids are like in that weird millennial space. They might not do that well either.
Well, would they do slightly better? That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Hmm. Weird. Combat. Do you enjoy combat, Jack? Do you have a warrior spirit?
Um, probably not.
Nah,
Also,
Jack's a lover. Jack's a lover. But then again, when we had them sticks, you were getting pretty ferocious
yeah,
in the front
my life was
yard.
on the line.
Jack's Jack was like a caged tiger. That caged tiger mentality came in. He's like, "Ah,
Perhaps
shit, here we go again." Caged tiger. Uh,
that was fun.
yeah, that was quite fun.
And the pizza guy came.
The pizza guy came in the middle of that.
Had to
Uh,
bring the sticks in. Yeah.
imagine if he came right as I threw that sword at you.
Oh,
Imagine he comes, someone's on the ground, curled up, like ah, and fucking the pizza guy's like, I got your
he
pizza.
has his own weapon. Imagine that.
Yo, imagine the pizza guy strapped.
I
He's
just
got to stay
imagine it.
protected.
He jumps out of the car like it's a Star Wars prequel, and he just like flips out with his whole weapon and just joins the battle like in the middle of it.
Well, that was fun, Jack.
I enjoyed that. It was a nice chat.
Thanks for coming on. And
Yep, of course.
before we go, who do you think I should have next?
Um, who have you had? You've had Ryan, Kevin,
Kevin,
Jordan, and
Jordan?
Corey.
Nope, not Corey. You're
Not
number
Corey.
4. Nope.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
No Corey.
I'll get Corey. Well,
Excellent.
see ya.
See ya.